watching Monty TV. I'm Jackie Karsh, sitting down now with Stephen Mee. He's the co-founder and CEO at Ahana. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Tell me all about Ahana.
Ahana is the startup that's focused on the cloud data lakehouse market. The data lakehouse is the new paradigm. It's a new architecture. As companies get more data driven, they need a solution for their SQL workloads. And Ahana is based on the open source Presto project, which is one of the fastest growing projects out there for SQL query engines, originally developed by Facebook.
Can you break down what is a data lakehouse for us?
Yeah, so data is now getting stored more and more in something called a cloud object store. And that can hold structured and semi-structured data and unstructured data. And what we need to do is you need to query it directly, or you can move it into a data warehouse, but that can be very expensive and it's time consuming to do so. So a data lakehouse is the new architectural paradigm that will probably drive lots of compute usage and give insights to many, many companies.
Is this a B2B or direct to consumer?
It's a B2B solution. And so we make it very easy to run Presto clusters in the cloud in 30 minutes. You can be running your SQL workloads, and that's what we provide.
Where did the idea come from?
This came out of the Hadoop era, where there was something called Hive, which is a SQL on top of MapReduce. And Facebook replaced that with something called Presto, and that was an in-memory, high-performance version that replaced that. And so Facebook calls their data warehouse Presto.
Now, moving to your employees, you call yourself a remote-first company. Were you doing that before it was cool?
We were. We thought about doing that before we started the company. And we started the company right when the pandemic started to lock down. And we found that we took GitLab first inspired principles. We think GitLab is a phenomenal remote-first company, and we've applied them ourselves with a handbook, and we now have people in 4 different countries.
And what are the benefits of being remote-first?
Yeah, you know, companies, the employees have to find that there's a lot of flexibility. So there's benefits personally, so they can have a little bit more balance in their lives. They can work from home or a co-working space. And that gives them the ability to do things more to find that balance. So for example, I can drop off my kids and I can pick up my kids. And so that's one of the benefits. Then, as it relates to work, you can work at other times too, and you can time shift and still get a lot of work done. We've seen that during the pandemic, even more work can be done than if you have to do all the commutes. We still meet. We just had an offsite where we got all the people together at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, and it was a great, that's a great way to connect to the folks. But then we all go back and work remotely.
With all of the remote work that's happening, has that affected your business just on the software that you're building?
The software, building software has been more of a remote model anyways. A lot of the IT was outsourced to places like India. And if you look at how software is developed on GitHub, it's pretty much an asynchronous model from the get-go. I'll just add that from a customer perspective, we find that customers don't necessarily want to see us in person anymore because they're used to just using Zoom themselves internally. I thought we don't have to necessarily impose our all-remote model on customers, but we're finding that they're okay with it.